What's up, dog?
What's up?
Chilling, kicking it. You we're gonna bring apple cider.
Yes.
But sadly, that's my main issue with this story. But your issue is that your car got towed.
Yeah, so I parked my car Saturday night. I was going to the one night I have two comedy shows. I drive in between them, and I went apple picking earlier. I had apple cider and a pumpkin in my trunk, and I guess I parked in like a no parking during the day zone, like truck loading. And I went to get my car today and it was gone.
So you're gonna bring me 2-day-old trunk apple cider?
Yeah,
that's my. That's my.
I don't know. That sounds good to me.
No, that does sound great, and I'm very sorry about your car. Yeah, it's so you currently don't have your car. It just got towed. Well, at 6:10 p.m. you DM'd me. You said I don't have.
Yeah. So during the day, I'm assuming sometime today, because I actually saw it yesterday because I got apples for my car. But
right.
New York City's crazy. So like I've gotten my car towed like elsewhere, and they'll call you on the phone and be like, "Hey, we have your car. We towed it." New York City, you have to check online, and it's either the police or like a private company will tow your car, and then they don't even like have it for like a day. Like you have to they won't even tell you where it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked. Your car's just gone.
That's messed up.
It's like disturbing.
So wait, did you find that out already? Did you already know all this?
Somebody got their motorcycle towed like a year ago that I knew, and they're like, "Yeah, the cops don't tell you." And I was like, "That's probably not true." And
where they keep the apples? In the motorcycle.
Yeah, somebody else.
I assume they're towing it because of all the apples.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't have this. Is
because I'm making apple seeds into cyanide
right.
to poison my wife.
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, pretty easy thing to do. I was actually thinking about that. I was like,
they have apple vision.
Yeah.
You know that cop thing where they're like, no bad apples. They're like, they really leaned into that somehow and can tell when there's bad apples. I don't know. That didn't make any fucking sense.
Well, I was like trying to think about like a cop going like, I hope there's no bad apples, but then you're referencing police brutality.
Right.
And yes, in the history, yes.
So they're trying to weed. Well, okay, the police, they're trying very hard to weed out all the bad apples, but they've gone
cop.
so far. One, it's every cop, and two, they're trying to deflect, and it's gone so far that now they're just trying to get rid of any apples so that people don't have anything to metaphorically compare cops to.
Yeah. I was thinking about what is a bad apple.
Like a rotten apple?
Yeah, but like...
Or is that like a specific... Does it spoil a bunch, or can you just get rid of the apple?
Yeah, I don't know.
How does it spoil a bunch?
I'm just imagining like a sack full of ripe apples that are freshly picked, and one of them sucks. But I don't think that's real. I don't know. It's just a weird...
Yeah. What happens if you find a worm in your apple?
That's a good apple.
Then you found a worm inside of a cop.
Yeah, that's the...
There's a worm inside of a...
cop's asshole.
Yeah, cop with a tapeworm is a type of bad worm with a bad apple with a worm.
Yeah.
Damn. Messed up saying that.
I was going to say, like, if the cop with the tapeworm's good. The tapeworm's fighting for justice.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Taking away. Also, it's cop with a tapeworm. Yeah, I sure love eating all these donuts that the cops always get.
It's like because the tapeworms. It's like it's like a malnutrition tapeworm because donuts don't have enough.
No, well, yeah. Well, because cops are always eating donuts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm going along with the riff, but I'm trying to say that the donuts are not healthy enough for the tapeworm.
Yeah.
So the tapeworm's got to be like a, I don't know.
Yeah, I like the idea of a tapeworm that's like, you're eating fast food again? How about some organic stuff in there, buddy? That's why I don't think a tapeworm could survive in my body, because I just eat like garbage every day.
I eat worm food every day.
So they love it.
Yeah.
Or they're like...
I eat tapeworm. Worms specifically for tapeworms. I don't know if I have a tapeworm, but if I do, I want it to be happy.
True.
We have a symbiotic relationship.
I always think like anyone could have a tapeworm their like whole life. Like you don't even know. There's like no. It's like very undetectable most of the time, which is disturbing.
There's like one medicine you can take that like just fully ejects it for sure.
That's the horse. That's the stuff that.
That's ivermectin.
Yeah, that's ivermectin. It's horse dewormer. So it is human doses or exist if you have like deworm, but like the amounts of people were taking for COVID were like killing them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was making them shit out their entire colon because it like fucks up. It like rips your lining up.
Oh,
I think
that's how it gets rid of the worm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think if you do a little bit, it's okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, if my horse had a tapeworm, I'd be like, that's fine. It's a horse.
Yeah.
Oh no.
How would I even
a little bit
know?
more hay?
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess hay is expensive.
That's a good like. Whose fucking horse needs dewormed? How do you even know about that?
Yeah,
I guess
this is gonna get that YouTube. Like learn the facts about COVID thing because we mentioned ivermectin.
Yeah. I don't think the vax is real. I keep getting.
Yeah, how many of the YouTube things do you think you could get? By the way, this could get demonetized.
Is it actually? Should we stop talking about it?
Yeah, but okay, I bet we could. How many buzzwords we could go? I think if you say like the Holocaust, 9/11, COVID, vaccine, ivermectin, Trump,
Hitler,
Kamala.
Do you think Kamala fucked shit up? Like, for like if you post on YouTube like a stand-up clip about like Trump or Kamala, you think that gets?
Oh, I don't know. I guess my thought is that these days stuff is being flagged as political and not shown to. Do you see that thing on Instagram? You can choose not to see political stuff. I don't know if YouTube's doing some similar thing.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it.
My only joke about politics is like a joke about how they text you, but it's like they text you and they have like Doug Emhoff's balls in a vice, and they're like, "We won't let him come unless you give us $100."
I fucking hate those.
But yeah, there are so fucking many of them.
Also, my guest this week is Tom Sarabok. Did I say that right? Sarabok?
Yeah.
Yes. Tom. I know I said that part right. And because of his apple cider that he has, his trunk apple cider that was locked in a car, instead he brought milk and cookies. So I'm gonna eat a cookie. I'm gonna eat some milk and cookies.
I got the regular Oreos. I wanted to get the Coca-Cola Oreos.
Ew.
You don't want to try them at all?
I do want to try them, but I'm glad you with the idea of eating a bunch of them.
It would make you sick.
Yeah.
I feel like I always think food companies should advertise more products. They're like, it'll make you sick. If you eat any of this, you'll get like I was at the Grimace Shake. I was like, yeah. If you eat the Grimace Shake, you'll throw the fuck up.
Oh yeah, is that true about the Grimace Shake, or are you just saying that?
Well, I will say it is like real. I was actually the first person to make a Grimace Shake joke, low key. But I
doubt that.
No, it's the day up. I don't know. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not true. I don't know if I can claim that. But it did make me feel sick drinking it because it's so much sugar, and I got like a large, and I felt like physically like uncomfortable.
To make you grimace?
Yeah.
That's what they call that.
Yeah, true.
They should call it the tummy hurt.
The tummy hurt shit.
The tummy hurt.
You use that McDonald's character, Tummy Hurt?
What a terrifying name for a purple guy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how they came up with
Grimace?
That. Yeah.
What a horrifying... Not even the mascot. He's like a side character. Like Ronald McDonald is a clown who runs the place, and Grimace is some sort of purple being.
Yeah, he's the milkshake. He's like the representative.
He is the milkshake?
Yeah, I guess he's like the goo. The milkshake goo.
But so then they only recently were like, here's the Grimace shake. The milkshake is now him. Him being the milkshake, I guess we were all fine with. But the moment they make the milkshake him, society loses its mind. The Joker.
I actually saw in Australia they just released the Grimace Shake in Australia.
They just released.
Yeah, I was watching.
That's how long shipping takes.
It's like an old timey steamship filled with purple shit.
They like. Like the boat is like getting bigger, like an old cartoon.
Yeah, it's like an oil tanker.
Yeah,
filled with slop.
Yeah.
Do you know that McDonald's in Australia is called Macca's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only know. I watch illegal basketball streams, and for some reason they get really good streams from Australia. I don't know why. It must be like this guy.
Is it a nickname for McDonald's?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but like in the commercials, they do it. Yeah.
Are you a big sports streaming guy?
Kind of low key. Yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't know that because you're talking about watching you're watching illegal basketball streams from Australia. That's a basketball head ass thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea. I was talking about just the stream is illegal because it's like not the channel, but I like the idea of I'm watching illegal basketball. That's fucking sick.
Wait, here's a thought. You do stand up comedy.
Yes.
And I feel as though there's some things that are not always what's the word? Simpatico.
Yeah.
And I feel like being a sports guy is something that I think a lot of comedians are, but also have like as a side card.
Yes.
But maybe one of yours is being a finance guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That is like a weird. The weirdest thing about it now is there's all kind of content creators that are comedians that do finance jokes. And I don't do any of those because it doesn't seem interesting to me, or like I do it every day, so it's not fun. But it's weird because I'm friends with these people, and I'm like, "Oh, are you a finance guy? Did you do finance at college?" They're like, "No." I wanted to be an actor. This is just what appeals to white guys is like finance stuff. But it is weird, especially like in Brooklyn, the vibe of like everyone's very nice, everyone has like real jobs, whatever, but it is like, oh yeah, I'm the capitalist villain. Like going to bars and stuff, it feels weird. But.
Right, that's the perspective of what also I guess the idea of being in finance depends on, I don't know what you do. But it does. Maybe you're doing an evil thing. I don't know what you're doing.
That's a good. I am the good finance, which is.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Because you're like a good guy. I don't know. I kind of assumed you weren't like grinding babies to a pulp.
No, well, that was kind of my old job. Was
you worked? Oh, you worked at the pulper?
Yeah, I was. At the yeah, I was at the pulper. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, dude, those babies, man. Shut up. You're the thousands baby I've ground up today. You're not important.
The screams didn't bother me because they couldn't really scream yet, but the whaz.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like, I don't even want to have kids anymore after working at the baby grinder. It's like whenever a teacher's like, I don't like kids. I work around them. It's like, yeah, I work around all these babies. I'm but yeah, so the finance.
Baby quant? It's the chart is this how many. Sorry.
That's actually a pretty good idea, like for a sketch. Like legitimately.
Yeah, boss baby, but if he was actually like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Boss baby, boss baby.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know.
Have you seen Boss Baby?
No. Also, yes, but I think like high. Like too high to remember.
I haven't seen Boss Baby 1. I have seen Boss Baby 2. I saw it in theaters with my friend a month before he died of cancer. It was the last movie he ever saw in theaters was Boss Baby 2, but he was a big fan of the series.
Damn.
No, it was okay. But
okay.
The movie was actually like weirdly good.
Really?
Yeah, I was like watching it and I was like, this is pretty funny. It also had like a Jeff Goldblum in it and like Alec Baldwin's like the Boss Baby. So I was like voice talent wise pretty high. And I enjoyed it. Like it's not like, you know, the Emoji Movie. Have you seen it?
That's supposed to be dog shit schlock, right?
Yeah, but that is actually
the Boss
bad.
Baby is actually good though. Yeah. Okay.
The Emoji Movie's unwatchable, but Boss Baby, pretty good.
Also got well, I am thinking that like I got really drunk and watched Godzilla vs Kong and wow, oh my god, incredible stuff happening in that one. But I was like fully like, if I was sober, that would have been truly awful. I imagine. I don't know.
You think so?
I don't know.
I'm not a big Godzilla guy, so
I think part of it is that I was sober initially and was watching and was like, oof. And then I started drinking. I was like, wait, no, I get it though.
A movie so bad that you have to get drunk to enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But once you do,
you're there.
Yeah. But no, I didn't know the Boss Baby. I did not know the Boss Baby 2 was very good.
Yeah,
that's surprising. Jumping back, what do you do? That's the good guy.
Well, so what I actually used to do was loans for private equity companies that were buying smaller companies, and that was kind of bad vibes in my opinion because I don't know. You're seeing like if a company does poorly, you're like, oh man, this guy sold his small company and now he's getting like juiced. It kind of feels bad. But what I do now is I manage like portfolio of loans for like large infrastructure and renewable energy. Which is like, and a bunch of other things like highways and shipping terminals and whatever. And that's cool because it's like, okay, the loan is backed by like usually by the government / a major corporation, and like it's a thing that needs to exist and is good that exists, and it's like I don't know, it just feels better than like I bought this like a healthcare company that does eye surgery or something, and we're like jacking up the prices and laying off administrative assistants.
That's what the private equity companies do.
Yeah, usually. Yeah, that's like an exaggeration. I mean, they're not that evil, but like it is worse than like
totally.
Yeah.
I also do think they are that evil. Yeah, but I mean, maybe not that specific company was maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're evil at the top, the big top private equity, like the one company called KKR, and then there's like Ares and Apollo. And frankly, I'd love to work for them because I think what they do is cool, but they also are like moving the world behind the scenes like finance guys that are like controlling like major buyouts of huge companies and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. But now it's just like, I'm like funding a power plant. That's fun.
No, that's neat. Yeah. I do like that. That is good.
Yeah,
it lets you sleep at night.
Yeah,
it lets you do comedy as well because I imagine the moment anybody has you on a podcast and goes, by the way, what do you do for a living? You're able to, with a clean face and record, go, I'm a good guy, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what evil job. I think most lawyers are evil. Like,
I guess it depends. That's just for sure.
Like, I think I don't know. I'm not interested in the law at all, but I feel like if I was in the law, I'd be like a public defender, and that'd be fun. But you get paid like no money.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know what ratio of lawyers are doing public defender versus like injury law firm dog going after your money type.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
Even those people seem better than just like, yeah, we're a lawyer for BP, and like we're helping them not pay money because they spilled a bunch of oil.
Yeah, corporate lawyers seems almost explicitly, but even that, I mean, yeah, totally. I mean, like it's like that does seem bad. That seems usually almost entirely bad. Yeah. I was trying to think of like maybe Nintendo. Then I was like, no, they're suing people for trademark.
Yeah, the Nintendo is like suing people for making like Animal Crossing stuff and selling it on Etsy. And they're like, hey, whoa.
That's true. I don't know why I thought for a second Nintendo would be a good example.
Well, I think it's like the average person who does anything is fine, pretty much. Like, the average person is lawyers, I'm sure it's nice. It's just the overall like system is bad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Also, Second City is private equity now, which is interesting. The private equity game has its long, goop-ridden tentacles wrapped around the local improv comedy scene, which is
when we'll see how that works out for them.
Yeah,
that's my thing. Is like there's a joke online. This is not like a finance account joke where it's like private equity's running out of stuff to buy, so they'll buy like a franchise of Chipotle's or like a franchise of McDonald's. Like they're like running out of stuff. So like, as long as you can get investors, it's like, yeah, we'll buy this like improv company and like it's whatever. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, from a financial perspective, I don't know if Second City's like a profitable business that I would give a loan to. I
gotta say, it seems. When I went to the Chicago location, it does seem like they're printing money from like the class hierarchy.
Yeah.
Same way that UCB was. And like if you go on Second City's like website, I'm just taking shots now, but it does seem like a just horrible money printing scheme based on the class structure. Anyway, take my joke writing class. I actually give a shit.
I've heard positive things. From
thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it.
I've heard good things.
I just wanted to do that because it's funny to like dunk on people for doing classes and then be like, but mine's good though.
Well, that's the thing. This is like this is not gossip because it's not. But this is like somebody else's opinion I saw I agree with, which is post-pandemic, whenever UCB was shuttered and there wasn't a Second City in New York, there was a little bit of a beautiful thing where there's no structure. Beyond, there's like a higher structure and whatever, but there's like locally in terms of improv and stuff, you can just go to the BCC or whatever, like have fun. Yeah. And there's no like, there's not rules. So it leads to like cool creativity and like people meeting that wouldn't meet and stuff. Yeah, BCC is great. I'm not going to name names, but homie who really likes BCC got an offer to be on like one of the good UCP teams. I was like, no. Like, I'm trying to do BCC. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I think it's cool. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Shout out Brooklyn Comedy Collective. Doing good stuff. Yeah, they're always nice. Yeah. It's always good. Freaking, yup. We're like, I don't know. I've only had good times. Yeah. I've only had good times there. I know it's cool. Like, I have a friend that's like not in the scene at all. It's just a guy who likes comedy, and they let him do like a sketch show there. And he's just a guy, and it was a good sketch show. Maybe we need some gatekeeping. No, but that is the beauty of it. I do like the idea of kind of the openness. Yeah, I mean, the whole I've heard that similar thing about how right before the pandemic, New York was horribly like gate kept in so many ways. I don't know exactly how. Yeah. Because I wasn't here. Yeah, I wasn't here either. But I have heard that there was a very equal, free-flowing energy. Yeah. Do you think it's settling back into being a hierarchy? Now that... well, there's the aspect of, like, there's always, like, circles and stuff and people to hang out. Do you think it's solidifying back into, like, that being an issue? Or, like, what do you think? I think it's chill. I don't know. Like, I think the vibes are still pretty good and, like... The people I know that are on like UCB teams or whatever are like still around and nice and like I don't know. So I think maybe is it a good balance now where if you want to do something structured you can do that. But I do know I wasn't here before 2020 because I was in college, but a couple of people I went to college with moved to New York to do comedy in like 2018 and like quit like within a year. And I don't think it's because they aren't funny or whatever. I felt like it was like the vibes must have been bad or they must have just not found what they wanted. Damn. Which is crazy. Yeah. Or they're cowards. I don't know. Yeah. It was weird because it was like, the 22-year-old man that I respect whenever I'm 19. It's like, he gave up. But I don't know. Yeah, comedy is an interesting thing.
that you can put all this time into and then quit, which is, I don't know, which makes sense that you can do that, but I do find it fascinating. I don't know. I couldn't possibly.
Well, I remember like I was like 3 months into doing comedy in Pittsburgh, and somebody was like talking to somebody else, and they're like, "Man, I don't even think I could quit if I tried." And it was like a guy who's like not that funny. And I was like, "Oh, I guess I understand. I've only been doing comedy 3 months, and now I've done it for like 3 years." And I'm like,
I have a dog inside of me.
Yeah. What is like?
That's how I say it. I got that dog.
I had like an insane conversation yesterday with my girlfriend about like our futures and stuff, and I was like, even if I moved out of New York to like a smaller city, I think I would still be making like videos or something. Like I'd still be trying to do something in comedy just because it's so like fun.
I love it. I fucking love it. I told this story before, but I mean, no shade to anybody who quits. Like if you find out it's not for you and you're not enjoying it, please quit. You know what I mean?
You're a braver, stronger person than me to quit. Frankly,
yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm saying you're weaker.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. I think that requires. I mean, I've quit plenty of other things. You know what I mean? I just haven't quit comedy specifically. I've quit a bunch of other shit like painting or whatever.
I quit so much shit.
Where was I going? I was gonna say. Oh, I was talking to somebody at a party. I just met them. Hadn't met didn't meet them before. Somebody was like, "Oh, you both do stand up." And they're like, oh, God, like, don't you, like, it's such a slog. Like, don't you just, like, hate doing stand-up? Like, it's always, like, just trying to, and I, like, or whatever. They, like, were really, like, complaining just about it kind of, like, generally. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
No. I very much so enjoy doing this. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's my thing is, like, I still get like so excited to crush at a mic. Like to go to a mic with 8 people and do good and with a new joke is like the best feeling in the world. And there's no like monetary benefit or like there's barely a social benefit of like writing a good joke.
Oh yeah.
But it feels good. And then I had the same thought where it's like I did a show in Boston in like July, and it was like a basement show with like literally like 8 people at it. And I had done it on the way back from vacation from like Massachusetts, and again, show with 8 people at it, and I did like pretty good. And I was driving home like 3 hours to New York at like midnight, and I was like, "This is awesome! This is the best night ever! I want to do this forever." And it was like so, but it was just like that. I feel like that was such like gratification in terms of like, oh, I like this a lot. Because also I agree. I fucking quit. I quit like cross country in high school. Like I quit.
I quit track.
I quit all kind of stuff. I like to quit.
This is the Quitters Pod. Yeah. Let's talk about now that we know that we found our thing, which is comedy, and other people quit comedy. I've also quit. I quit track when I got into college because my mom was like basically like you can't quit track. Like you have to like you have to like. Well, it was like it looks good on the what?
Were you good at track?
No.
Okay.
I was the fastest white sprinter, and I was the only white sprinter. Although I think that's actually I've said that before, but I think I was also the slowest sprinter.
Oh yeah.
I was the slowest guy, but I was the fastest white guy.
Okay.
Is sort of the joke. The other guys were all Korean.
Yeah.
That's true. Not entirely. I'm sort of okay. I'm trying to say it in a funny way.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But let's see basically like my parents wanted me to keep it up because it would look good for like the college application. Then the moment I got into college, I literally went home and I was like, hey, my treat for getting into college officially is that I get to quit track.
Nice.
I don't know how they felt about me doing that, but that was the rule in my mind.
Yeah. I think it's just like I sucked at cross country. I was bad at it, but my dad was good at it. It's like weird because it's like a lot of guys get like pressured into playing like baseball or football or something, but I got pressured into like running. And both my dad and my mom are good at it, but I also injured my knee in 7th grade, and like at the time I was like, oh, I'm just making that up in my head to get out of practice, which is like a reasonable thing. But now I'll like if I ever run for like a week straight on the treadmill, my same knee injury like flares up. I have like tendonitis. But yeah, I don't know. It was just like so terrible. It's like I like to work out, but I cannot run.
It's also like, dude, I feel similarly. I was also I'm very social, and I always felt like running was like the least social sport.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's like, all right, go just you individual, you're there with everybody, and you're all just fucking running,
and you can't talk because you're gasping for air.
Yeah, I'm literally like, this sucks. I don't know.
Weightlifting's very so. When I weightlifted in college, it was me and my 2 roommates, and we'd go as a threesome of guys to the gym, and then we'd go eat a huge meal after.
Nice.
Like every 2 days. It was amazing.
You're pretty jacked, by the way.
Yeah.
You've been getting more and more jacked? You've been hitting the books?
Yeah.
The books on weightlifting?
I've just been lifting up dictionaries a lot. No, I think it's one of the things where if you work out
They
consistently...
need to add more words. As you're plateauing.
Or bigger words, just longer definitions, anything. But yeah, it's one of the things, if you just work out twice a week for 4 years straight, you'll get muscle over time. Like, I don't work out that often, but I work out like twice a week. But like for so many years. Yeah. I also only work out my arms because that's all that matters.
I do just like body weight stuff in my room, and to no effect.
You're like not that it matters at all, but you are like thin.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, as a person I have a pretty large gut that I often...
I don't know if that's...
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
No,
I meant to pat your belly, but I spilled your tea.
No, I was going to say I peed my pants. No.
They can't see.
But
you could do it for real, and they wouldn't notice.
Anyways, I was very, very thin as a child, like super thin. And even now, it's like, if I eat and drink what I want, I will gain weight, even though I work out. So it's like, it is commendable at a certain age to like maintain the same body weight because it's hard.
I would like to gain weight. I don't eat enough food. I simply don't eat food.
You gotta eat all these double
literally, this is like my dinner.
Yeah. This is my I had
just a whole psycho.
Because I got my car towed. I was gonna say stolen, but towed essentially.
Stolen by the government.
Stolen by or like a private company, which is insane that they can do that. I was like, I need to treat myself, so I went to like Taqueria El Pastor and got like 2. They're called Volcans, but they're essentially like open-faced tacos with like pork and pineapple. And then I was still hungry, so I got Oreos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That was like the first real food
Oreo time, baby.
Oh yeah, true. I'm gonna try it.
Actually, I might. Literally, I was like, I shouldn't.
I'm pretty full. Yeah, I actually don't really want one.
I'm gonna put this one here because I already touched it, but I am just gonna go back. I'm gonna go tea. Literally, the moment I picked it up, my body was like, no.
Yeah, that's the one thing I feel like I'm lucky where it's like if I've eaten, food disgusts me after. Like I can't even look at it, which I think is good.
That's how I feel about sex. Whenever I have sex, I can't look at
your own penis.
My penis.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I think there might be something different. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like
post-food clarity.
True. I have the opposite. I have post-food, like, do you fall asleep after you eat?
If I have too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I get full. If I don't get full, then no. But
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need coffee or like tea after I eat because I'll get like well, I'll get the opposite of this. I will fall asleep.
I gotta tell you a funny thing. I had some sleepy time tea right before sex, and we were doing a doggy style. And I passed out on her back.
Nice.
I was just like,
wow. It's like, wow, Benny really cares about me.
I woke. She then I was able to wake up again, and we took a break.
Yeah,
my mind.
But I've definitely drank and been having sex and been like, I just want to go to bed, and then I just give up and roll over and fall asleep. It's kind of a move that I'll do. I did it a bunch in college. I did it like 5 times.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's fine. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna be vulnerable with you on this pod.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm listen, folks. I think I'm hitting that age where like, are you able to fuck twice?
Yes, but I also have. I'm also a weird guy.
Oh sure.
I think it's not. I don't think it's because I'm like tired or whatever, or like I have stamina. It's because I'm just like a freak.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been able to, and I think I have lost that. I think and now it's becoming a thing where like, if I get hard initially and I do the stuff when we're doing some stuff, if there's like a break where like they go to the bathroom or something, and then I just like if I go back down, I can't get back up again easily.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm like, it may be some sort of ED or something, but it's not necessarily ED initially. It's not. That's not erectile dysfunction initially, but it is if there's if there's some sort of significant delay. It is like, I'm noticing some sort of age-related slowing of the dick and balls.
Yeah, you need to get on Blue Chew.
I think. Maybe
pills.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I feel like I don't need it, but my one friend had sex on Viagra, and he's like, "Dude, it's crazy." I was like a jackhammer, and I was like, I don't know if that matters. It seems, yeah.
My new thought is, I don't think I mind having some. I don't know if my libido is lowered. My thoughts are like, I don't know if that's true, but my thoughts are the age-related losing the libido. I think I'm interested in.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's bad to think about. Like, you know how many wasted hours and every day now, but wasted minutes and hours are wasted on sexual energy or sexual thoughts or whatever. Because for me, it's just that's so not productive for anything. I don't know. It's not good for you. It's bad for you mentally and low key a little. It's not bad for you physically. It's fine, but
I'll be hooking up with somebody and just really establishing a great interpersonal connection, and we're really having a good time, and I'm just like, wow, I could be reading a book. I'm kidding. I'm fully kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not there.
No. I'm completely kidding. No. I'm making fun of the idea of that it's all a waste. I guess my thought is it's absolutely a waste to think about it too much when it's not in some sort of readily achievable state. However, when it is good is having a real interpersonal connection with somebody.
I was thinking more about maybe masturbation,
right? Totally.
Because that for me just seems like
I've never done it.
Oh, good for you! Nice, good for you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think the people that are I gotta quit are what? That's weird. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's I don't know. It'll be one thing. Okay, this happens to me. So it'll be 11 p.m. and I'll get home from a mic and I'm I need to edit a comedy clip to post on Thursday. It's Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm I need to edit this clip, and I'll open up Adobe Premiere and I'll be looking at myself and I'll be on my computer and I'll be probably could jerk off right now, and then I'll do that and then I'll fall asleep and just won't edit the clip.
Yeah,
and it's
I know what you mean.
It's
Is it your own stand-up that gets you horny?
Yeah. It's me
God,
holding
I'm crushing in this.
Yeah. Well, also I honestly think it's an anxiety thing too, where I'm I don't like watching myself that much, or I'm afraid that I'm gonna fuck up the clip, or even posting it freaks me out. The whole thing. And then it's I could go to magical fairyland and jerk off for a half an hour and then hang out.
Magical fairyland. Yeah. And what site is that?
Well, it's kind of the Wicks. What are those people from Nickelodeon? You know what I'm talking about?
That sounds familiar. I don't think I've seen whatever show.
It's kind of like Tinkerbell.
Oh, I see.
But she's 28 and she has tattoos, and she just got out of a long relationship and she's just looking to hook up, and you're it's POV. You're at a dive bar. Yeah. I did that. I wish there was a porn that was 28-year-old woman wants to have a night for herself, and you're the guy.
They have that.
Really?
They have girlfriend roleplay porn.
Oh, they do. I have actually seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
stuff like that.
Shout out to Alex Adams. No.
Alex. Oh no, he's great, but I don't. Dude, he's crushing it.
Oh yeah, he is. It is.
He has his
weird.
own podcast.
Yeah, that is that's the one thing I do not like about pornography now.
I know the name.
Well, he's women like him. Not necessarily to view, but women that work sex workers. I think he's a good guy. I think, but it is weird. This is the Riley Reedification of porn stars as mainstream celebrities is very weird.
Has that happened to him? Because
a little bit, but he's a man, so probably it won't happen. But he's a little bit there. But just to it's almost a 1970s thing where porn stars are near the same celebrity as singers and actors. They're not there yet, but it is I'm not conservative, so I think it's chill. But it would be a little bit terrifying if it's oh, who's this famous person? Oh, they were a porn star.
But some of them are more famous, than they're just not spoken about in
yeah.
Like Alex Adams is doing some really great stuff.
Yeah. He does have a directorial vision. Then I'm like, okay.
He does. He's got because he like it'll be like some specific fetish, and he's like, I'm gonna fulfill that, and he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good voice actor,
and so you know what I mean.
He always plays like a
POV.
He's like a 35-year-old man, and he plays like a little brother who's rude, but like the same kind of like. He'll play like the Dorito gamers, like get out of my room, and I'm like, what? Like,
but then his camera is good too, and it has a certain like gray. But it's like a high quality. Yeah. It's like high quality, like 4K, but also has this sort of like gray lighting element.
It's like a home movie vibe.
Yeah, it's got a home movie amateur vibe, even though he's doing really well.
Yeah, yeah, good for him.
I know too much about this.
Well, I'll say, I don't know. It's one thing,
and I'd like my libido to go down, so I know less about this.
That's the other. That's to go back to the original point. Yeah. It's like. This conversation is funny because it's for a podcast, but it is like a waste of fucking mental knowledge that I have about adult actors and stuff. And it's like they don't need to know. I don't know. I told you before that I was reading a book about the Silk Roads. I'm on page like 400 out of 500, and not to be like I could be reading a book instead of sex, but it is like, what if I read that before bed every night?
I see what you're saying, but I do think that I think this is cultural knowledge that. Has a certain understanding and depth that like you and I can have this conversation, and it lets us like step into a certain zone and like understand the patterns in the world currently.
Oh yeah,
like getting to see. I don't know. I mean, but also yes. I guess my thought is that like some knowledge is a waste. Too much of this specific knowledge would be a waste. But I think some level of understanding of it is actually good.
Yeah. Well, that's like the 1970s thing of like my parents would tell me like. About these porn films would be in mainstream movie theaters for like a night, and there was only like 8 porn films, so I guess like everyone knew them. Like there's like the movie Lovelace is about like Linda Lovelace, who was famous, but it was this weird thing where it's like every single person who was like 18 to 35 was like, oh, I've seen like there's like Through the Green Wall or something, but everyone had seen the same porn movie because it was one of the 10 ones that got produced in mainstream theaters or like near mainstream theaters. But it is like a thing that used to happen. And then I think 80s, like Reagan plus AIDS plus like probably like cocaine like overflowing the whole area like probably destroyed the cultural relevance of it.
Okay.
That's like pretty much the plot of Boogie Nights, frankly. Just to
haven't seen.
Oh, okay. It's good actually. I like it. I'm not a big I'm okay with Paul Thomas Anderson. But
do you like There Will Be Blood?
I haven't seen it.
Oh. I was gonna say that's like the main one I've seen, and I'm like, what are you talking about? That's great.
I want to watch that.
You would fuck with There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
Yeah,
I have to watch a bunch of movies. I haven't seen No Country for Old Men.
Okay, that's a good one.
I haven't seen
so much movies. Stuff. I haven't seen most movies either. We're on the same page. I've seen a lot of adult movies.
yeah. Yep.
Eva Elfie? Who the hell?
Wow. I don't like.
She came to mind as somebody who I think is more famous than a lot of actors. Sorry, who are you saying?
Oh, that's true. We also this is a cool comedy porn intersection. So you have a bunch of followers on Instagram, and like we know people with a bunch of followers on Instagram.
Yeah. Yep.
And I will be like, oh, how many followers does like John Mulaney have on Instagram? That's an exaggeration. Or like Adam Friedland, somebody famous.
It's so funny when people follow porn stars.
Yeah. Well, then it's like porn stars have like 300,000 Instagram followers, and like I come from a perspective, I'm on the same social media platform as them. It's like, wow, what the fuck? Who's doing this? I guess they also have international appeal, which I think comedy doesn't have. True. And like cross-intellectual, like dumb people and smart people all watch porn. There's no porn for smart people. I mean, there is, but like...
Yeah, sapiosexual porn.
Yeah.
Math tutor gets it wrong. Student corrects. Math tutor rewards correction.
Yeah. I do hate school porn because it's like unrealistic. Like, nobody's cheating on tests and getting caught.
Yeah. That doesn't do it for me either. I do fuck with nurse stuff.
Really?
It's part of my act I talk about.
My dad's a nurse, so I think I've been around too many nurses that I'm like, oh, nurse, you mean like a 40-year-old woman with 2 kids who's friends with my dad? Not into that. Though I am into like, they're the ones that are like a nurse at a sperm donation clinic.
That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We can jump off of this if
yes, I don't know how much.
But it's interesting stuff.
Yeah,
because I do think it's a hidden world. Are there other hidden worlds?
Oh, there's good ones. Well, so I like professional video games a lot.
Oh, sure.
And
so some subculture. I guess the thought is like some stuff is subculture, like video games, but those people can still like. I completely agree. But like porn is interesting because it's a hidden world one where
I think gaming's also hidden though. I think people are cool to be like I play NBA or I play like Call of Duty, but there's like certain games where like so I play Counter-Strike and like you mentioned like a deeper pro video game that has millions of fans. Like I've been to these events, they're packed out in like US and everywhere. But it's like, oh, but you say you're a gamer at like a bar or something. Everyone's like, you fucking suck. Unless you're like either an ironic like I actually am like into N64 like old Mario, or you're into like Call of Duty. But like if you're like, I don't know. I feel like that's just a thing where every single man I think pretty much is a video game person because it's like the main entertainment that's advertised to boys like 8 to 15.
Actually, so I studied video games in college. I don't know if I've ever told you this. 50% of, I mean, this doesn't take into account non-gender binary, but the 50% of gamers are women. It's just the games that are played are different. And it depends on what you count or consider. And like, what's the gatekeeping mechanism? So, for example, 50-year-old women on the train are playing Candy Crush every single day, and it's like, is that not a game? And or Wordle or whatever. I mean, Wordle, it's hard, like but it's like when we're talking about like gamer, you're absolutely correct. Video games are marketed to boys until the Wii. The Wii is what switched it, and it became marketed to families. So now it's game by game, and some games are marketed to boys still, but then Nintendo products are specifically marketed to everybody, and so there's a certain age range where the games that people are playing are across the board. But above a certain age range, which I think is probably our age range, women are typically playing a different subset of games.
Well, they're playing games that are like different, but I do think so I think about like Sims. The Sims is like that's like almost hidden in the sense of I think I know like a bajillion women that have played The Sims for like large portions of time.
Yeah, totally.
And they just like don't talk about it. But then my girlfriend specifically plays Animal Crossing on the Switch. And
exactly.
She is like a disturbing amount of hours. Like her island is like I could never. I have played Animal Crossing various times in my life, and I don't have the organization or the durability to like put forth the effort to like get the items on her like Animal Crossing island. But yeah, I think it is a marketing thing. My point was more just I think every single person is like weirdly exposed to video games, but if you talk about it, everyone's like,
it's like, well, I think specifically calling yourself a gamer is absolutely like a type of hat that you're putting on, and it says too many different things.
Yeah, it says I suck and I hate women.
I
don't ever have sex.
To be a gamer is with that specific hat is absolutely a certain subset. So it's like I love gaming. I'm absolutely like a gamer. But it feels gross to say that idea. But I'm not. I like to play video games. But specific ones. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was in jury duty, and they had the questioning session. Like, have you had jury duty?
I'd actually never have.
They question everyone in public.
Are you a gamer? And if you're a gamer, they say, get out.
They ask you what your hobbies are.
Really?
And me and like 3 other people in my group put video games, and they're like, what game do you play? Then I was like, I play. And they did it for everyone. And they were mostly like half to get to know us, but half is like the really good lawyer it was like two lawyers, personal injury. The really good lawyer was like trying to already win us over to her side and make us like her personality by asking us questions about ourselves. In like a friendly way. So that was like one way, is like asking about like video games.
Did it work? Were you like
a little bit? Yeah.
Nice.
But then it was cool because I said like, I play Counter-Strike, and then she's like, my boyfriend does that. Have you been to like X tournament? I'm like, oh yeah, I have. This person has knowledge. And then the other lawyer was like, I play League of Legends. And I was like, what are we fucking doing? Like, what is this? Yeah, it was fucking.
That happened at jury duty.
Yeah, it was like a small lawsuit. There was like 2 lawyers that were literally our age. It was like chill. I don't know, but it was like. But that's what I felt like the gamer thing was like. I felt everyone was like, yeah, I play video games.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, porn is a similar thing where I do think that I think people aren't engaging with a lot of it because of the industry.
Oh, yeah.
And certain sides of it. However, a lot of people are engaging with it and hide that. Gaming, similarly, interestingly, terrible industry, very exploitative, horrible industry. People are working really, really long, awful hours and crunch and whatnot. So interesting parallel there. But then, and then people are the sort of person who is, I don't know. Yeah, there's like talking about it can feel odd.
Yeah, because it's like it's also not real. Like it is real, but it is like a thing on a screen. So
it feels weird. Yeah, absolutely. And just another parallel that I think is not true is that people talk about gaming as like a waste of time.
Oh yeah.
And I think that can be true, but I think it's like I think it can also be deeply enriching and an art form that you can engage with. And I think when people don't realize, I think both. It depends on what you're doing. It's like reading can be awful if you're just reading the same book over and over again.
Well, even then, it's like I feel like the reading thing is like some people read literature and like books that are really long and stuff, and then some people read like romance novels, which is frankly a sexist statement for me. I don't think romance novels are valueless, but that's an example of like a stereotypical like. Or like people will read like pulp crime or like John Grisham or something.
Bad shit that sucks. And
yeah, that's like the bestseller shit that's like nothing, or a self-help book that has like no value. And it's like I think there are video game versions of like self-help books that are like not really anything, but I also think that there's video game versions of literature like Fallout New Vegas or something that are like deep and have like all kind of meanings.
Completely change your life, and also like the fact that it's interactive is such a unique medium experience. Now I'm just trying to build up video games.
Now we need to go home and play video games now.
I fucking love them, dude. Yeah. I don't know. I think people unfairly malign video games frequently.
Yeah.
But I think that they're also correct about like if you just spend 300 hours playing the same like game mode on the same game, you're not gonna like necessarily like you kind of plateau with like.
It's like watching The Office over and over again.
Right.
Like, I watch for me, it's like I watch Parks and Rec or Brooklyn Nine-Nine clips on YouTube like all the time, and it's not because I'm like learning or like even like I like comedy or comedy shows, but I'm not like trying to think about writing. It just feels like good and like comforting, and I think people can fall into that with video games even harder, where they just replay the same game or they just are like in it because it reminds them of being a kid. Like which is like it also is a balance where it's like the same thing like food or anything where it's like you have to balance like things that feel good that aren't necessarily like good for you or leading to development with like things that are like more harder to digest and like interesting.
Yeah.
Music I think too is like that, where it's like pop music is easy to digest and that's what most people consume, but if you like there's so much deeper music and like different ways of listening. But
I think these are also all social, because even if an art is I guess at some level bad or something, the social engagement you have with it, like you ever go see like a bad movie with friends, just even chewing on it in that way is a lot of fun. But seeing a bad movie alone can be like a nightmare. Video games to me are extremely social. Like I play with old friends, so it's a combination of how we're catching up and also like it's not just that it's social. It's not just that it's the video game and it's social, but also that there's some intersection there where like if you ever try to like hunt a woolly mammoth alone, it doesn't work. But if you and the fucking homies have a woolly mammoth surrounded, not only does that actually like completely change the experience, like that you're able to do it, but also like it unlocks like a collaboration part of your brain that maybe like sports, for example, would unlock, except for fucking track. Also, my roommate's cat is meowing outside the door. Should I kick him?
I don't know. It's up to you.
I gotta kick him out. I gotta kick him out to the
curb. Nice.
Hold on. I'm gonna vamp.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay. So, guys, this podcast is sponsored by the bodega on the corner of us, Natural Farm Market.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the door cracked so he can come in if he wants to. That's the new plan.
It's the best bodega around.
In fact, I'm gonna let him in, and then I'm gonna
shout out to Muhammad behind the grill. Shout out to I'm a pretty awkward guy, so shout out to the people at the cashier who I don't make eye contact with because I'm afraid of them.
Okay, I don't know
It's fun. Have you ever noticed that the 2 women that are the cashiers at the bodega by us during the day are like beautiful?
What? I don't know. Oh, Cat's here. All right, now that he's in, I'm gonna shut the door.
Okay.
Let's say hi to Cat.
Meow.
This is Sean's cat, Honey Boy. Also, yes, I have noticed that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't notice it that. I mean, I noticed it a little bit, but my girlfriend's friends from work coincidentally live in the same like blocks as us, which is cool. Because they're much older than us. They have kids. Like, just a weird coincidence. She doesn't even work by us. But I was talking to the guy who I'm pretty good friends with now, and he's like, "Yeah, that like one cashier at the bodega is really attractive." I was like, "Oh yeah, that is true. That's crazy."
Well, if she starts calling you boss man, you can.
I feel like I'm such a burden on every single person I interact with in a customer service situation that I like feel bad that they have to talk to me, so I don't do it.
I actually think that she and I had like a good rapport, and then I went in like sick to like get like Dayquil, and I just like had sort of like a lack of Riz that day. Like I just didn't have any like, I don't know. I just like looked like shit and like hadn't showered because I was like sick. And I think and she was the cashier, and I was just like, hey, I just had a bad energy. It was like, can I get a Dayquil? And like, I think I ruined the vibe. Forever. And now she's like been like a little. I don't mean to be. Now we're gossiping about our bodega cashier.
No, it's kind of
like now she's now every time I see her, she like kind of doesn't. She like, I feel like I upset her, and I'm just like, I was like, I don't know, I was sick. You saw me get Dayquil. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I feel like I go in every day. Whenever I work from home, I'll get a sandwich for lunch, and I won't shower because I'll shower before Mike's at like 5:30 p.m. is when I shower if I work from home. So I go in during the day, and I look like shit. And I've been going there for like, at this point, like 2.5 years. And it has to be like, they have to be like, what does this guy do for an income? He looks terrible. Like, they either think I'm like, I feel like they either like, my dream is that they think I'm like some secret like tech millionaire that like never has to work again. And then my least favorite version is like this guy who just is like, lives in squalor, but like can get a sandwich every day. I don't know.
Yeah. That could be a Venn diagram, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. But then the other version is like I'll come in every once in a while, like after work, in like a collared shirt. I used to carry a briefcase around until it like fucked up my back.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then they're like, this guy's like secretly a businessman. Is like the vibe, and they're also much nicer to me whenever I dress nice.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You ever like I don't know what it is. You ever like somebody thinks that you don't like them.
Oh yeah.
And so then they start being like weird to you.
Yeah,
I'm
the guy that does that.
Oh really?
I'm the guy that will think that someone will. I call it squashing the beef because I will just think someone doesn't like me, so I'll be cold to them, and then I'll force them to be really nice to me to show that they like me, and then I'll be like, yeah, we actually squashed the beef, and that was just all in my head. I don't know.
But sometimes, well.
Anyways.
Not to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that sometimes that sometimes does squash a beef. I think sometimes people are like, oh, Benny doesn't like me, and then if I just am nice to them, I think that they then go, oh, yeah, never mind. Oh, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Sorry.
I mean, it's like half a joke, but I do think it's true where it's...
I'm letting him out.
I'm cold and closed off a lot because I'm afraid of rejection. And afraid of people not liking me, so I'm like, oh, I won't like you first, and then they won't not actually like me because I'll be cold, and then we'll have one positive interaction, and both people come away where it's like, it's okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I met this guy a long time ago, and I thought he was a different guy who I knew, and so I was very friendly to the guy like immediately because I was like, oh shit, it's the homie. But the guy I thought he was, I didn't know that well either. But then this guy, because I was so friendly, became my friend.
Oh, nice.
And so I don't know who I mistook him for, but he became my friend anyway.
Good for him. What a lucky guy. Right? Yeah. I think, I'm like, I also have like a resting mean face, which I think is like also a defense mechanism from like middle school. Like I think it goes back that far, but I remember I worked as a busser at a restaurant in high school. And like I would literally I was like 16 and everyone thought I was like 25 because I would just sit there completely straight faced and like numb.
You don't have resting mean face to me, but you do have a resting poker face. Like I do think it's like I do think you, but like I do like I don't know what you're thinking, but I do. But it doesn't strike me as like unkind. It just strikes me as I don't know what you're thinking.
Wow.
Or how you feel initially before you emote and talk to me. You know what I mean?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, mysterious.
Yeah, you've got a certain mystery to you.
Yeah, I feel like I have a joke about this now, but it's like women like mysterious guys because it's like a guy who like shuts the fuck up and doesn't talk, which I think is like a thing that's true because like there's like the stereotype's the reverse that like women talk, but I feel like men do this thing based on what I've been heard and like I think it's true is like they'll just kind of rant at each other. And like not ask any questions.
It's called podcasting.
Yeah, it kind of is podcasting.
But that's what I've been doing a little bit.
No, it's fun.
Also, how are you, by the way?
Well, you have asked me questions, but also it's
good.
No, I'm not worried about that. But I'm just saying I think it's like a thing where like apparently like, women will go on first dates and the guy will just be like talk at them for like an hour, and it's like crazy. So whenever there's a guy who's mysterious, like maybe he's listening to me.
Yeah, I don't want to. This happened this happened a while ago, but I do remember going on a date like 5 years ago. And I was just building myself up here. But the idea was like, she was like, oh, you're not negging me. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, you're like, every date I've been on, the guys like neg me. And I was like, what the hell is happening? I was like, I don't think that's certainly not an every guy thing, but I see the stereotype.
Yeah. I do think.
Hold on. Vamp a little bit. I got to put the cat in.
Oh, okay. Folks, you know, it's I don't know if you guys knew this day, but this day it's no clouds in the sky anywhere over the eastern seaboard. Kind of a beautiful weather day, kind of bright and sunny out, and can't ask for anything better than that. Okay.
I've officially put the cat back in Sean's room.
Nice. That was my attempt at vamping, was talking about. So did you see the weather map today that there's no clouds like anywhere on the entire like eastern United States? Like,
nope.
No, it's nuts. There's no cloud systems the entire coast.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like a coincidence, like just good weather. But it's like, yeah.
That seems related to the changing climate and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't seem good. Anything about weather, I'm actually, that's actually bad. Well, it's like 75 today, and it's October. So
that was weird. I did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like it. I'm a cold. My apartment in my first year, whenever I was an adult, it cost a lot of money to heat. Like, it'd be like I get like a $250 bill for heating.
Damn.
So I would just keep the apartment at like 62, and I just learned to like live in the cold for like so long that my body adjusted.
To preferring it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I did like a Viking. It's what Vikings did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just kept the heat at 62.
Yeah. Because their electricity bill is too high.
Yeah. When Vikings would go across the ocean, they would only bring like a space heater one for the boat.
They just leave the oven open to oven heat, which I guess is just a fire. But,
that is what they would do, right? Yeah, that's like how they did that.
Yeah. But no, it is like whenever you live in a cold environment that's almost cold, like it's not cold enough to kill you or anything, but like it's just cold, your body just gets used to it because it changes your, what's that shit called where your body stays the same temperature?
Homeostasis.
Homeostasis is the word.
Something like that. Yeah. Freaking, what were we talking about before I made you vamp? Questions and the dating. I don't know. But not that I'm a perfect date or anything, but just the thought of, I remember it kind of made me sad because I was like, oh man, people are being
mean,
unkind, and I don't know. It felt like a default as opposed to like any sort of like virtue of mine. It felt like of course.
Well, that's what that is what my girlfriend has told me about dates that she's been on prior or men that she's interacted with before. And I've heard some other women is like,
there was nagging.
They're just like, men are like really like the average. Like it's almost like a thing that I was like should be encouraging to like I'm an incel, whatever. It's like, well, most men are bad at talking and being on dates and interacting with women in general. They're like terrible at it, and if they're overconfident, they're even worse at it because then they're like annoying. I feel like. I've just heard like horror stories of just like, oh, this guy talked to me about accounting for an hour on a date, didn't ask me like where I'm from or anything, and then was like, oh, so we're gonna have sex after this, right? And then the girl's like, no, like that's like it's like the average date a woman has. I feel like
you need to do the like line by line credit and debits of who talked, then they'd get it.
Yeah,
little accounting joke for all the accounting heads out there.
True. Also, I hated learning about that. It made me so mad.
Really?
Because it was just like credit and debits. It's such like a
cookie time.
It's just deep accounting stuff where I was like, this isn't how like everyone uses a computer program. Why are we fucking doing it? It was so ridiculous. It was easy though, so I got an A. That's the trick.
I got an A in accounting 1. I took accounting 2. So I thought it would be just as easy, and I failed.
I did that with calculus in high school. I didn't fail, but I got a C, which is like failing in high school, kind of.
I also failed because I got senioritis and I stopped doing any of the work.
Oh, nice.
That's 100% true, by the way. I got an A. Same. Okay. No, it's the same class. First semester I got an A. Second semester I got an F.
So you got a C overall?
I believe so.
Nice. That's crazy. Wow. I got a 2 C's my senior year of high school. I was in BC calculus because I took business calculus the year before, and I was like, it's fine. And then I took BC, it was hard. And I also stopped doing homework like the last quarter, and then I had honors physics, and I stopped working. Like, I just gave up. Yeah. That was like the first time I ever felt dumb, which was good. I think it's good to feel dumb. Yeah.
I know what you mean. I always, my thoughts are that I get frustrated with with that stuff just because it's like, it usually all makes sense if the person teaches it correctly.
Oh, exactly.
And I don't feel dumb. I always just feel, I do feel dumb about certain things. But in those cases, like I've since seen them explained way better. And I just get like mad where I'm like, oh no, the teacher just, or I don't, it's not exactly that they sucked, but it's also like there's 30 students or something and they have to make sure that all of us get it. And they have to present all the information like linearly without necessarily going back.
Yeah.
And so, like, even if you just miss a single thing, you can't necessarily catch up easily. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's my physics teacher. Like everyone hated him. He was bad. He was just bad at his job.
Some are bad. Some teachers are also bad.
Well, he's crazy because he was like a businessman guy, I guess, or like a '90s business. I don't know. But then he was like, "Oh yeah, I just like hard answering word problems." So I got into physics, and I was like, "That's the worst." I want a guy who's like teaches me like, you need to learn this problem about gravity because planes are really cool.
Oh yeah,
that kind of physics versus like.
I guess I do want to blame, like I want to blame some teachers, but I would say for the most part, teachers are trying their best, and I definitely want to blame the education mechanisms or systems or something or however it works, and be like, we got to have some sort of alternatives. I don't know if I have it currently. I've got a book called Creative Schools that Sir Ken Robinson, he's got the most famous TED Talk of all time. I'll pull it out.
Also, Benny is Silent Spring by Rachel Carson, I think, right?
You know it.
Yeah, my dad loves
that book. Is just fact. It's just study after study, facts after facts, no narrative, pure. It's the pesticides. The pesticides are why the birds are dying. We know for sure. We definitely know for sure. That reason you thought why it wasn't, it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's crazy. Check it out. But just like back when TED Talks were good, this guy had the best TED Talk. Look up Sir Ken Robinson if you haven't seen that shit.
Malala Yousaf likes it.
Yeah. I don't really know why she would necessarily be an authority on
I guess she was in a school that was bad.
True. Yeah, that's valid.
Or she wanted to go to school. I think that was the issue.
She's a famous person, but not for this domain-specific expertise, so I don't know why she's quoted. But they should quote me on this. But it's cool. It's like there's a lot of different ways of teaching that, like in America, we did a lot of just fucking Scantron-type shit, or a lot of programs that would cut arts funding.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like when you do that, it fucks up the math scores and everything too.
Yes.
Because like letting certain kids fucking dance is how they think. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
No, my sister's an art teacher, so it's like so much like so.
Here, I'll put it down.
Unless you. Nah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know the value. But I was going to say, I had this crazy thing where I have a version of that book / TED Talk, but it's a Call of Duty YouTuber made a 2-hour video about why RuneScape is good for kids because it's like essentially free play and they like have to learn all these rules and learn to be self-sufficient themselves and like learn how to socialize and like become a social outcast and regain favor, like all these like life skills and like they learn like the value of if you do the same task for 3 months straight you'll get good at it vibes. But it is like, it's insane. It's like a 2-hour video from like a random Call of Duty YouTuber who I guess had retired like a year before and just made one video. But it was like really compelling. And I listened to it whenever I cleaned my room. But it's just about how RuneScape is like the
Send me
ultimate
that,
school.
dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's also one of those things though that's like, I'm going to relate this back to comedy in a second.
Oh, nice.
But it's one of those things where you're being told that a thing you spent a bunch of time doing was good actually, so it's very like self-circularly validating.
It is self-suck, yeah.
Yeah, but which is fine. I don't mind. The thing about self-sucking is it's like nice. I get to come in my own mouth.
Yeah. I did that in high school. It's not good. It's just you just taste like a dick. You don't feel good. Anyways.
Oh, but the thing with happens a lot in comedy. I think we've definitely maybe done it here, or even with the dating stuff. It's like a little bit of the self-suck of like, nice, we don't do the negging. But it's also like, that's how it's important to do that, to go like, all right, I'm going to reinforce doing that so I don't neg. You want to reinforce that this is the good version of yourself to be. But in the comedy, I think a lot of people, where people are constantly waxing poetic about comedy in different ways, and like, the comedian's a true philosopher, stone,
thinkable mind, genius.
Yeah. I do think I'm sure you've seen I've been on a kick where like I think all comedy is political.
Yes.
But I don't think it's all urgent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think like people like do the self-suck of like, this thing that I did in the past was actually good and made me who I am and made me a genius and made me successful. I think people do that with comedy because they'll do like the shitty stuff in comedy that's like a bad show, or like they'll bomb at a mic and they're like, hey, if I didn't bomb at that mic and I didn't make that joke about sexual assault, I wouldn't be so funny now.
Right.
And it's like, no, you actually didn't have to do that. That didn't benefit you at all. Like, you learned a lesson that you shouldn't do that, but also you should have known that lesson anyways. So I think people do that. But yeah, I also think that people wax poetic about comedy about is like this intellectual exercise. And it's, as a person who's like an intellectual guy, it's such a different part of my brain. I am trying to do more political comedy. That's not purely political, like, hey, Hillary Clinton's weird, but like,
you mean trying to pay more attention to what the root meaning is?
Yeah,
right.
And like try to have like a point that I'm being like. I have a lot of jokes about how men are bad in like interesting ways that people don't talk about. Like, again, they don't ask questions, or like they don't grow. I think a lot of men I know stop growing as people in their early 20s.
I've got one. I might just be projecting, but you ever notice that your penis is so sharp that it can poke things to the point of bleeding? Sorry.
Yeah,
that might just be me,
actually.
Fellas. Sorry, what were you saying?
But Matt Rainey says
men stop growing in their 20s. Yeah. Sorry, that's cool.
My roommate / comedy show host.
Shout out Matt Rainey.
Matt Rainey has a joke that he gets special condoms. They're triangle shaped for his penis. It's like that. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah,
funny guy.
But yeah, I think comedy. Like I like political comedy, and I like comedy as a message. But whenever people get so deep about it. And there's also a really good sketch from like the Almost Friday people. These guys make sketches, but like they seem like they're bros, but they actually make like really good like short film level sketches. But it's like it's called like Intro to Every Netflix Thing, and it's this like really deep like black and white thing.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
actually.
and the guy gets up on stage and he's like, "My cock is crazy," and it's like,
he's like smoking a cigar beforehand. Yeah.
That's like what most comedians actually do, especially the big ones, and they're so serious. It's like the whole point is that it's silly and fun. And like the darkness is all like inside you, but there's much healthier ways to express that than like doing stand up is a bad way to be. Somebody also said this about there's this thing where stand up comedians go up on stage and they're like maybe you said this. They give a big speech about how like they feel and how they're like depressed and like this whole thing, and then the crowd like claps and like applauds, and it's like this beautiful moment. And it's like if you did that as stand up at an open mic and you're like, I don't even care about this, whatever. I'm gonna be like, okay, shut the fuck up, like get off the stage.
I don't think I said. Maybe I said that. I don't think I did.
Somebody else probably said it, but yeah.
My version of that is that people do those really heartfelt, touching moments, and you're like, wait, you did that town to town on tour?
You said that 5,000 times. Yeah.
I find that really weird.
Yeah.
But I think I have seen that done well with like Nathaniel, where from what I understand, he didn't do it a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
He did only try to do it one, or something like that. That's what I've heard at least.
Yeah.
I was thinking that in stand up, there's a lot of false idols. I've been thinking.
Oh, for sure. A million. That's why people do stand up practically.
Well, I guess I don't mean.
Like you mean gold statues, right? That we all worship.
Yeah. Like I guess, like very specifically, like stuff like, what was one of the ones that we were just talking about? Like speaking truth to power. I mean, maybe that's actually a good idol. Like stage time, or how many sets you did that week, or credits, or how long you've been doing stand up, or like who you know, or your follower count, or like all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of golden cows that people are like, you have 74.1 you know what I mean? They're like falling out of their chairs, and it's like I think these are all things that it's worth looking at the thingy. But when people like really worship a particular one, I think it leads you down an incorrect path.
I think that happens in like a lot of art. I think that comedy is just the most current one now. But I think it's always the thing of like people that do art are searching for some sign of security and some kind of like thing that they can say, like credits, like followers. That's like, I'm really doing this for real. I'm not a poser doing this. Like this is what I do. And I think because it's so hard because there's like a bajillion people doing it and everyone thinks they're pretty funny. And everyone thinks they're good. And usually, frankly, in Brooklyn, everyone is pretty funny. I think most people I see are like great. I'm like jealous of them. But it's this thing of like everyone wants.
Can I say that's a great idol? Is that they're funny?
Yeah,
like that's a good one to be jealous of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But everyone's searching for like a thing that's grounded in a stat of like, I have this many followers, I have this credit, or I've done this show, I've opened for this person. They're looking for that because they want security and they want to be able to tell, like, when you say you're a comedian, it's like, well, what's the best thing you've ever done or whatever. But I think that's like, again, I think it is a false idol. I think it's something bad to reach for. And I've kind of come across this mentally recently where it's like, I'm like going to turn 27 next year and I've thought about this and I'm thinking about people that I aspire to, I like, and when they've decided, and I'm like, I think I'm just deciding personally. It's like, no, I don't care about follower count or credits or whatever. It's like, I'm just going to do the art form and make a thing that I like and make it that. Then it's real. Then it's real because I said it's real. Yeah.
Of course.
But that's like, people lose that because it's hard. It's also hard to do that. And even though I just said, oh, I'm going to do this, I don't care about followers. I still care about followers. I still care about all that stuff.
True. But it's also like, I mean, it's like, which one's the primary seat and driver?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I guess you get the followers from having something to preach or whatever. You know what I mean? Like having good comedy is why people would give you any sort of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
It's also the thing of, I think comedy, because of the way mics work and even shows that people are trying new stuff on shows and everyone's kind of constantly growing, there's this thing where you're kind of a little bit always in school and you're always like learning. And I think it's really easy to be like, well, I'm just doing mics right now, but then like next year I'll be a real comedian, or like the year after that. And I think it's like you have to almost turn on this thing in your head where it's like you have to push yourself further and like demand more from yourself, because it's like there is no next year. This is now. Like I'm still learning and growing, but I'm also like I have to make a thing now. And like
you're also always going to be learning and growing.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, I think it's just easy to just keep going to mics and being like, oh yeah, I'm still like trying. And it's like, well, you have to decide to not try, but like to be.
Yeah. At some point, I guess I did hit the actual the thing flipped of like I am or whatever in the false idol metrics.
Yes.
But I already was in the correct idea of trying to do comedy makes you a comedian.
Yes.
And when the metrics in the sense of like don't have a other job and now I'm doing this, it actually got, instead of having that be like a big win, that actually was very stressful.
Yeah.
Not because just because of money.
Yeah. That's gonna say the one good thing about
that's my own damn fault.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's like the best thing about my situation where I'm like not worried about where I'm getting money from. And I think that I'm good at my real job and I feel confident in it, but the issue is just that I have too much energy to be fulfilled by one thing, I guess, when it comes to money. But yeah, I look at it is like that. So like for shows, selling tickets is so stressful and uncomfortable, and I don't like it. I don't like asking people to come to stuff. And like every show I run is pretty full for the room. Like I like it, but it's so stressful. And it's like I'm asking people to come for free. If I was asking for people to come for $20, and I needed them to come for $20, or else I can't eat, I'd be like, I don't know what I would do. I would freak out. Yeah,
I mean it's very odd. You like to be a comedian now, and this is like not new, but I think it's interesting that it's still touch into. But the idea that it's like you also have to be a social media manager / marketer. Like you have to learn like marketing.
It's insane.
Like, Premiere and like Photoshop and comedy.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Like you
have to learn how to be funny these days.
Yeah, so I'm like I feel like so lucky that I know Photoshop from high school and that I am okay with Premiere and I'm good with computers because like. Again, I don't think I like edit all my own stand-up clips. I make all my own show posters, whatever, and that's like so much effort. But I like doing it. I think it's really fun. But
I enjoy it. Yeah. I think you and I. It's like funny where it's like, because I'm saying that you have to do that, but I don't mean to say it with too much of a complaining angle.
But it just isn't a thing that people didn't have to do.
As much of a this is the new current cultural situation. Because I have like, I mean, I didn't know Premiere. And now I know Premiere pretty well.
Same.
Like I've like learned a bunch of the shortcuts. I'm fucking doing ripple deletes or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I keep trying to add effects and watching like I'll make a comedy video. I just did it where it's like wrestling and we did like a fight scene essentially.
I saw. Yeah. Shout out Matt. He hits you with a chair. Yeah.
And I hit him with a garbage can, but in the moment it looked like shit. It was funny. It was funny. It was for comedy, but for a video it looked fine. But I was like, I'm gonna do like a impact whenever the chair hits.
Really?
And I'm gonna add a sound. There's sound effects and shit.
Is there really?
Yeah. So
I didn't realize you added sound effects.
Yeah, but I added all this stuff and I like edited the video and I was like, I feel so good about this because I like learned 2 new Premiere skills.
Yes. Yeah.
But it is like I like doing that, and I'm the type of person where that's a fine skill to have to develop. But it would be really annoying to be like one of those brooding writer comedians that like I feel like used to exist, or I mean they still exist. I know people that are doing it, but it's so hard to be like, I'm bad at advertising for myself, or I don't like it.
Yeah, some people don't like posting clips.
Yeah.
Which I understand. While I understand, it's also like that's the ball. I mean, it's wrong to worship the false idol of having the clip go viral and to get a follower count.
Yeah.
However, it is correct to play that game. You know what I mean? I don't mean to.
No, I agree with you. No, I'm trying to do that more. My thing too is, I think people think about it wrong, where they think about they make a clip because they want it to go viral because they want to get followers, which is again, it's a bad pursuit, but it's a noble pursuit in the sense of like there is a very real thing where if you have followers, people will give you more credit and think you're funnier, and you'll have people that want to see you. It's like makes perfect sense. But I also think like people should not post clips or reels or sketches for that. They should post it because they want to make a thing, or they want to show off something that they've written or done. And that's the way I think about it. And it's like so relieving.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's part of. Well, hold on, I want to jump in, and I could tell because your clip starts off with kind of like who's on the dating apps, and then you get hit with a chair, and so it is making fun of like kind of standard stock stand up that people are like putting into the machine. What were you gonna say? Because of what?
I was gonna say that actually, ironically, I think that clip did much better than my other ones where I just do normal stand up, even though I like or I have a bunch of jokes where the punchlines the big punchlines in the last 30 seconds, and then no one watches because after 15 seconds there's no punchline. And it's like, in real life, I know it's funny, so I don't really care.
Right,
but
that's trickier.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to think about this. Like, I have like a friend who's like a Reels guy who has a bunch of followers, who I think is actually funny and actually makes really like amazing videos. But I literally will send him clips, and I'm like, oh, how do you think the algorithm will respond to this lettering and this is just funny enough in the first 5 seconds. It's almost this thing where you have to do that because you want to watch people to watch the last 30 seconds. But then there's also the reward of like, I posted a sketch that got like 90 likes, which is fine because I don't have a lot of followers, so who cares? But my girlfriend, my friend, and my parents specifically told me it was funny. And it's like, well, that should be really that's why I did it, actually.
Yeah.
That's I don't care. Why would I care if 10,000 people like? But at the same time, part of me is like, I wish 10,000 people would like this.
So it is interesting where we like. I think there's a lot of just because we're doing this podcast, and I think a lot of podcasts are having a lot of the conversations in comedy have been about this sort of thing.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting place. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I talk about it pretty often.
Yeah.
But
there's also the issue. I think so many people go viral now. So many people I know in Brooklyn or elsewhere have huge follower counts that it loses some semblance of meaning. I mean, I don't think it loses complete meaning, but it is weird. It's like, well, if everyone has 10,000 followers, then no one has 10,000 followers.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But once you have 74.1, you're good.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you're doing okay. Well, you said it like with the career thing. I think I told you this before interpersonally, but whenever I introduce you to people or I tell people about you, I'm like, oh no, but Benny's like, he's like an actual comedian. That's he's my friend who actually does it. Everyone else is just,
that's very kind of you. But it's a murky line. It's a thin line.
Oh yeah.
And it's also like part of why I actually do it is because I quit my job too soon. You know what I mean? And was like, well, I simply have to.
Yeah.
Or I'm fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is a weird question, I guess. I don't know, but how was like,
here's a weird answer.
This is a weird question. Like your shows that were like out of town, are they like, how's the attendance? Are like people there, people showing up?
Good. Depends on the city, depends on the market.
Okay.
But honestly, I just sort of wrapped up a lot of the tour, but yeah, like Seattle and Portland were both like 120.
That's
people
fucking sick.
So.
That's the cool part. I mean, we talked about it like not in a podcast, just as friends, but like the touring aspect of comedy and being like, oh, I'm in a cool city, I get to hang out.
Yeah.
And like 100 people are down to see me do jokes.
I got back yesterday.
Cool yeah.
Well, let me say about Seattle, that was a 90-person show and then a 25-person show.
Yeah.
And so the second show, I definitely was like, yeah, I wish we could have just had you all at one show. Because crowd needs to hit some sort of critical mass for it to feel good. Yeah, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Like, just
like 25 people for me is I'm like, oh yeah. But it's also I'm in a tiny room.
Yeah.
The venue I do in Brooklyn, which we have to move out of because they're trying to charge us money. We had 40 people on the show, and it was too full. Like it was like bad. Like I felt bad because I was like, because comedians will come and hang and stuff, but I was like, okay, man, like you're a comic, like you actually can't sit because like this person paid $5 to be here, and there's just not enough seats. But it was like too many. But
where's it been at?
It's Sleepwalk off.
Okay.
Montrose.
I know you've moved it a bit.
Yeah, it's been a Sleepwalk for a year. It's a good venue. I think they like music more and like also, I mean, from a financial perspective, whenever they're like, hey, we have to charge you like money, I'm like, that's fair because we haven't been paying anything. But also it's like, oh, do you need money? That's concerning. Like it makes me worried about their like financial health as an institution.
Do they charge tickets?
No, it's free / like $5, but we just sell tickets at the door, so it's fine. But like now they're like charging us a fee, which is pretty normal for a room in Brooklyn to charge you a fee.
I guess the thought is that the freaking money in comedy is crazy.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Well, what do you mean? Explain.
Just from all perspectives, it's a somebody described it. Forget who the hell said this, but it's a feast or famine kind of thing.
Yeah. Like Jim Gaffigan and John Mulaney make like $50 million a year. Like Kevin Hart makes like $50 million, which is like unconscionable. Like
that's almost $50 million more than I made.
That's $50 million, kind of more than everyone made, frankly. If you do the math, but that is an unconscionable amount of money. That's the amount of money that professional athletes at the highest level of their sport get paid. Actors barely get paid. Like Brad Pitt doesn't make $50 million. I mean, I'm sure he makes money, but not $50 million a year. But then it's that, or then it's like, oh yeah, I'm a touring comic and I make $2,000 a month. Like it's like that.
Right. Yeah. Like I just made This month, that's exactly that's roughly what I'm going to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a good month for me. I don't always make that. You know what I mean? Last month I made exactly rent, and then and then I'm paying for like utilities and food.
Yeah.
And then if I teach a class, sometimes I can go up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it is like that crazy difference.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I also really kind of fucked up by the shows were the 15th and the 17th. I could have just gone the 15th, 16th, and 17th, but instead I went the 12th through 20th. And ended up like, even though I crashed with like a homie, some days I still had to like get this like other hotel.
Oh yeah.
And then also like I'm buying all this like fucking food because I'm not gonna get like groceries and then carry it with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I could have gotten groceries for a few days, but it was just like I'm eating out every meal, so then it's like another I'm basically spending $200 a day.
Yeah. It's like fuck
for like 10. Not literally 200, but like I probably spent like $800 in order to make a net. You know what I mean? It's like fuck. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. That's like, again, it's a job thing where I like my job and I like that I have the freedom to do stand up. But that's like I don't like the money thing because then marketability matters from a corporate sense. I've thought about this a lot because I thought about like managers and agents and all this kind of people talk about industry, and I see it from this finance perspective where I get where they're coming from because it's like, oh, some guy who's like a wacky guy with 1,000 followers and like not really a specific, he's funny but doesn't really have a specific identity. We can't market him to people. It's like, yeah, you need to be able to market somebody, right? Because then no one's gonna want to put them in anything. No one's gonna want to hire them as a writer or put them on shows or put them in TV shows or whatever. Like marketability is real and it's driven by a corporate sense of, we need to get income because we're paying you to, run these different people to make them like in LA, like agents or what, all that shit. So it's like, finance gives me the education to understand it. And then I feel better about myself because I have a good job where I think about like this, like insane, harebrained, like I'm the money. I'm the guy with the power. I am capitalism. I am the corporation, so I can do whatever I want.
You should start a management company.
Yeah.
you want to manage me?
No. That also sounds like terrifying. But yeah, for me, it's like I understand the marketability aspect, and I think that is bad for the art form of comedy. Just like it's bad for every art form where artists don't get discovered because they don't make a very specific type of music or painting or something that will sell.
What do you think of this? That kind of shit, the marketability, the follower count, the credits, all that stuff. I think I'm wrong to call it a false idol, but maybe it would be more correct to call it a tertiary. The primary idol is the art form itself, the funny. The secondary is like, are you kind?
Oh, yeah.
And then the tertiary stuff is like all of the stuff that the companies and industry and people can, in a grounded way, latch onto to know whether or not to send you to, I don't know.
But I do think it is a false idol to chase followers and likes and views.
Right.
But only because, frankly, I think tertiary is a good way to describe it because I think...
Still got to do that shit.
Yeah, we have to do it. But the other thing is, like, I think if you're somebody who's making content just to get views or just to get likes, you probably actually won't get the likes you want. Like, I just... The people I know that... I know people that, like, go viral and stuff that are kind of doing what they want. Like, it is marketable, and I could see why it would have reach. But at the same time, it's like, they're not just doing that. I think if people that are just posting, like those guys that post clips like 4 times a week, that are crowd work clips that get like 500 views, it's like those people are trying to get followers and likes, and it's not working because they're not being like true to themselves anyways. I think people like there is a level of like people see it and like it if it's good. I don't know. Like,
no, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I think that's also relevant to the secondary idea where it's like even if you're funny, if you're not kind, that'll then fuck it up for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I think everyone is. I've never really. I can tell when people are like that vibe of like, oh, they're like doing business, like they're having a conversation. They don't really want to talk to me. They're just talking to me because it's like the correct thing to do, and I'm actually okay with that because again, I do that to people too. That's how the world works. But it's weird. I think almost everyone's like really nice all the time, which is good.
Yeah, no, almost everybody. Yeah.
But it also could be like maybe I rock. Maybe I'm so good that everyone's nice to me all the time.
That's valid.
Yeah, and that is like a little bit true because I did notice whenever I first moved here, I would suck for like 3 to 6 months, and people aren't nice to you after your set and don't say hi to you and don't say good set if you didn't have a good set. And then if you start doing well, people are nicer to you. So it is like a thing for sure. But
no, for sure. I mean, I definitely I've experienced that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. I guess like I don't. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
The main idol. I think the main idol should be like hats. Getting a cool hat.
That is a Brooklyn thing. People are like, oh, who's the best dressed comic?
Oh,
who's looking good out there?
I meant quirked up hat, but that's funny though. Are people talking about that?
People do that, yeah.
You and I are in different circles.
Wow. Well, I think it's like that's a crazy marketability thing that I do buy into myself, which is this I think probably comes from like John
swag. Who's the most swagged up in the scene? Tom, who's the most swagged up?
Julia Desmond's the.
Oh, that's valid.
Yeah, that's a very easy.
Sure.
Easy check.
She's crushing that so well that I own clothing from her.
Yeah, I also own one of her
funny.
shirts. And I gave it to Matt because it says I am 25 and I turned 26, and I gave it to Matt. He's 25. So it's what was I gonna say? Oh, so John Mulaney said this, though not in the exact specific way, but the reason why he wore suits is because he was wearing like a t-shirt and a hoodie, and then he's like, well, why am I on stage if I'm just wearing a t-shirt and the hoodie? What's the difference? I think like comedy does kind of have a costume aspect.
Yeah.
Where you kind of have to wear a nice little outfit to do your comedy. It doesn't have to be like a suit.
Yeah.
But like
you still have to dress up. Not dress up formally necessarily, but you have to put on some costume of
who you are. Like even you will wear like a black t-shirt that has like a cool design.
I'll wear my Bob's Diner shirt.
Yeah. But it is like, oh, that's the shirt I would expect Benny to wear. Right. And that's the shirt that matches the vibe you're giving out a little bit. So there is like that.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
I don't buy into the idea of having to wear a suit.
Like
I don't.
It'd be weird if you wore a suit on stage. I'd be like,
I think it's great.
I mean, like a big baggy white disco suit. That probably look great.
But. I mean, I understand why people do it. But the vibe, I'm not trying to. I think there's an in between that like 2011 zip up hoodie and a suit. I think the vibe I'm specifically trying to go for is that we're hanging out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That we are equals. I think that if you go like schlubby deliberately or like kind of like casual deliberately, it depends on how casual you go.
Yeah,
but.
Well, that's like who's the guy on 30 Rock who wears the hats the whole time?
Judah Friedlander?
Judah Friedlander's
whole
thing is
that's
he
a great
looks schlubby on purpose.
You know, actually, that's a great point. Like, you can do whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But
it works. It works if it's your vibe. Yeah,
you do kind of have to do a thing, though, a little bit. You don't really have to. But what I've realized is, and it's also maybe it's because you're a comedian and you think you're an artistic sensibilities and you like being an individual, you're going to be like, well, I should also wear an outfit I like. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's just the same type of person. But
yeah. Just try to have it match your vibe. I've actually been wearing my cutoff jorts on stage just to prove, because so many people are like, you can't wear shorts on stage, and I'm like, yes, you can.
That was
what are we talking about?
The second time, or
of course you can.
The first time I did comedy, somebody told me not to wear shorts on stage. And I was like, I just literally didn't listen to them at all. I just always wear shorts on stage.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. In the summer. Because my thing is like, well, also I got good calves. You know?
Nice.
But I think Brooklyn's obviously. I mean, people wear shorts on stage all the time, but that is a weird rule I heard whenever I was in Pittsburgh. I think it's like a smaller town rule. I don't know why. I actually
still the only reason I wouldn't do it if I was going to a club is specifically just because I do know that I don't view it as a sign of disrespect, but I know that some people who own those like businesses would possibly view it as a sign of disrespect.
That's crazy.
And like you know what does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I just would never have jumped to that. I think that makes like so much sense, and I'm afraid.
But at the same, I'm gonna say not never, because I don't know. As long as I give a good show, it's fine. You know what I mean? As long as you sell tickets. And actually, I'm taking it back. I don't really know. I'm kind of just guessing that people who own clubs are old head comedy sensibility, but I kind of actually doubt that. I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah. Also, whenever I've worn shorts on stage, it's like nice shorts that match my shirt. Like it looks, the outfit's an outfit. It looks good, so I don't think it's a big deal. But it would be weird if some guy was wearing like Nike athletic shorts. Unless all his jokes were like, I like sports. He had a headband on.
There's people who I could see doing that,
yeah.
and it'd be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shorts. But yeah, that guy is like terrifying, man. The first time I did stand up was like, that was kind of funny, but you can't wear shorts on stage. I was like, okay, sorry, sir.
I think that's a false idol.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The dressing professionally is a false idol.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird.
Yeah. Any other false idols? And then we can wrap up soon.
Yeah, I was gonna
if
say,
you want to.
Good. Yeah,
we've been
crooking,
baby.
I got this big gold calf in my house. I'm kissing every time I do well at stand up. Yeah. I did have. I'll talk about this. My Saturday, I had a really good set. I felt really good about myself, and I got McDonald's afterwards, and I ate it. And I was thinking, like, eating French fries, like, this is what winners eat. So I created a new idol to reach for, which is McDonald's French fries after your set.
That's
against.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a little bit, you know.
Do you have pre-show rituals? Now you have a post-show game win. Do you jerk off before show?
No.
Okay.
I will. I'll drink a beer. I will do my set in my car or shower, like, alone usually.
Sure.
And just fool. But yeah, I usually will drink a beer. I think it's helpful too to have a chat with somebody so you feel loose and talkative. But honestly, my best sets sometimes I've been silent and in a corner, and then just like exploded. But
well, maybe you'll feel this way with the silent in the corner. If there's somebody else, I always find that if I am laughing, like if somebody goes on before me and they're funny.
Oh yeah.
That always gets me in the zone for like, oh nice, that's funny, and I'm excited to
I'm
be
the
laughing.
opposite.
Really?
When somebody bombs before me, I go like, I'm gonna fucking I guess I'm seeing all their mistakes. I'm seeing what they did wrong. I'm seeing the things they're reaching for. It gives me an impression of, I don't even think bad of them. I think bad of the room, or I can see why their jokes aren't working in the room. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna comment on X thing. So I think I'm really good after, especially if it's like a white guy, a straight white guy goes up before me and bombs and says something offensive. I'll go up and just be like, yeah, that guy, I mean, I won't say that guy sucked, but I'll do a joke that implies that, I don't know. It gives me so much energy to watch someone bomb because I get anxious and I'm like, let me go. Let me do, you're doing it wrong. Let me do it. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't like I guess I like, if I see somebody doing it wrong, I do like to fix their jokes in my mind.
Yes.
But I don't know. Sometimes I do them and I'm like, wait, I want to tell that, but that's that person's setup.
And punchline.
It's a setup and punchline, but yeah.
Different, yeah.
But a little different.
That is helpful for writing. That helps you avoid like writing hack. Like as an individual, helps you avoid writing like bad stuff because you see someone do material and you find the flaws in it. Like if someone does a joke about like therapy or dating apps in a way where I'm like, well, that didn't work because everyone's kind of groaning at that topic. But it's like, here's how I would do that joke if I wanted it to be fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
And how would you? We don't. Anybody on the apps? Yeah. I'd be swiping. I got carpal tunnel.
Really, from swiping?
Yeah, but I've got carpal tunnel from already being on the computer, and so then the moment I start swiping, it hurts, and I'm getting carpal tunnel, but I'm like 3 in, and I'm like, I need to pay for not only. Like I need them to have an option where it'll swipe for you.
Yeah, I think they should do. I mean, this is what eHarmony's pitch, but they should do a thing where it's just like, this person will date you. Like they'll just match you with somebody and be like, yeah, this person will date you, and you have to be like, yeah, or no. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any. I might be losing my mind here. I just think they should tell you who likes you on dating apps. Like,
oh, well, they do on Hinge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I cry. I met my girlfriend on Hinge.
Oh, gotcha.
But
But just, you think Tinder should as well?
Yeah, I think every dating app should be like, this person will have sex with you. Because then you're like, yes, I'll swipe right.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. You're saying every day. Okay, here's a thought. Tinder's swiping mechanism hinges ability to see who has swiped you.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all. We just need those two things, and life would be so much fucking easier. Company? They are. They could easily.
They could make the best one.
They could easily, at any time, call it twinge.
It worked for me. I don't know. Yeah, if you feel a twinge in your heart.
Yeah.
It's from Mad Men.
I've been thinking about it. Once I have some amount of money, maybe I bought like a Boost just to see how it would go, and it immediately actually worked. And I was like, oh, it's just not showing me to people unless you like pay.
Yes.
And so I'm like, at some point, I think I'll actually buy like the thing and then go to swipe.
Well, it's also just an algorithm thing where you have to swipe no on almost every single person you see when you first download the app.
Right, because it's all the like most popular people in the area.
Yeah, and you have to say nope. I'm too good for them, and then it'll find people in your range. And also, some people have to swipe right on you to start. But like, I have friends that are like, "Why am I not getting any matches?" And I don't know how to be like, "You're not that attractive." Like, guys, I'm talking about. To clarify, I can say it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this, but like, I got matches. Every guy I know that's chilling.
But Tom, why am I not getting? Sorry, just in like, some sort of pure denial of whether or not I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've done a lot of. I figured out a lot of just a weird way to close, but I figured out a lot of like self grooming stuff that I've been doing a lot better. like my beard is at a much better. Like I see like old podcast footage where I've got this huge fucking beard, and I'm like, what the hell was I doing? That was like one of the dumbest looks I could have done.
Yeah,
just like not trimming it at all, just letting it grow out.
Yeah, you would hope somebody's into it, but
some people are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's like. But I think just on average, like trying to look the best you can. That's like, you know what I mean?
That's like what I did for years. I talk about going to the gym, but that's like why I go to the gym. Where it's like, I go to the gym, I got new shampoo. I did all these like little things. I used like a facial cleanser. I brushed my teeth. Yeah. But it's all these things, and then I'm like, I did them on purpose to find a girlfriend and feel like worthy of love. And then it worked. And then I have these guy friends, and I'm like, well, you just got to like go to the gym and take better care of yourself, and like. Think about what you wear and like make sure you're brushing your teeth and stuff. Yeah. And then they're like, no. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna be alone forever, man. I don't know what to say. You gotta work on yourself, or why would anyone love you? Right. If you're not trying to be a better person.
You can see stink lines through the phone.
Yeah. Like you have a weird skin condition, man, and it grosses everybody out. I don't know what to do.
I've been
you.
No, I do actually.
Well, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I just been putting lotion in it. It's all good.
Oh, I wasn't. Look
at that. Isn't that fine? Look at that.
Yeah, just so you should be like, I'm a chef. I burned myself.
I honestly think I got Drano on my hand, and it's like a chemical burn, and I've been trying to like figure out how to get rid of it. I
kind of low key like those. Like it makes you feel good. It's like
a chemical burn.
Yeah.
Ha!
That's a little bit. Yeah.
It's like a deep scrub.
Yeah. At least I'm like, oh, there's a thing that it's not. I think I would be worried it's a bug or a bacteria or something. But it's like, no, it's just bleach.
Yeah, it's like a clear reason.
Yeah. It's just a chemical. That's good. Chemical burns.
That's funny. Yeah. Hey, do you have anything to plug?
We had a good. When is this dropping?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I have a show on November 11th, which is a Monday.
Well, maybe before then. Yeah.
With me and 4 other really great comics. We're all doing 15 minutes, which is a lot of time for us.
Nice. Do you have a plug for a general Tom? But no, that's good. But I'm also curious if it's at post. Then where can they find you?
Yeah, you can check me out on Instagram at Tom Sarabok, Sarabok. I'm the only Tom Sarabok that exists in the world.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Wait, how? What's your last name?
Sarabok.
No, but I mean
it's a Slovak. But there's people in Slovakia with my name.
Are you Slovakian? That's been on you a little bit.
I'm like German. But I think it's people that, by blood, German, but it's people that lived in Slovakia for like 300 years from Germany.
Cool.
Yeah. I like it a lot. But yeah.
That's neat.
At Tom Sarabok on Instagram. Just look. I don't know. My Twitter handle, I got to make it my name, is Scop Jeeb or Tom Cecil.
Yeah, or else it'll be Tom Sarabok by the time you see this. He might change it for SEO tertiary idle reasons.
And and if you're watching this like 3 months in the future, I'm gonna try to start a podcast, which Benny, I'll definitely have you on, which is where we go hit the random article on Wikipedia and riff on Wikipedia articles.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but you're a top of the line primo guest for that.
Would love to. That sounds great.
Yeah, or it's gonna be called Riffopedia.
We could have done that this time.
Yeah, next time.
No, next time.
Collab.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, man. I feel like we really got to the bottom of the current state of things.
This is deep, dude. People are gonna listen to this recording like in like 2033, and it's gonna be like how I listened to "You Made It Weird" with Pete Holmes, but it's from 2009.
Yeah. It is. We just essentially had like an extremely just like here is where the finger on the pulse is. That's where it is.
It's in the prostate.
And like, and then it's just like you listen to like the Pete Holmes things from 2009. You go, oh, that's how the comedy scene was in 2009. It's an interesting microcosm, but no longer relevant. Yeah. Or they will be able to see how it's. They'll know, like, well, clearly they didn't know about the thing in 2026 that completely shifted everything.
They just said Louis is the funniest comedian ever.
Or whatever. Yeah.
I wish they knew. No.
Yeah, so some variety of... Yeah. So, like, the people watching this now will, in a few years, be able to go, like, oh, well, that completely shifted when Instagram got shut down for...
That'd be fucking... If no offense, because if TikTok gets shut down, I'll feel pretty good.
I'm not offended at all.
Yeah. I have no following on... That's like the one social... I try to post.
Dude, I don't either. The thing is, I did, and then I'm like I'm shadow banned in some way.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. This is quite funny. Quite a funny thing to end on. I don't think... I'm actually not shadow banned. I believe that the issue is they have accurately... figured out that my content is stand-up comedy. And so when I look at it's like get inspired by posts that are similar to yours. It's a bunch of like the worst dog shit stand-up I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And so they think I'm doing shitty open mic stand-up and just crapping it into the void based on certain algorithms of like of what it looks like or something.
Yeah.
And because of that, they...
Should we not hashtag stand-up now? What do we hashtag?
I don't do hashtag stand-up on anything anymore.
Really? Yeah. I'm going to start doing that because I've been really...
Stand-up is dying in a certain sense.
Nice. And I do hashtag straight white guy a lot. Doesn't get a lot of clicks. Doesn't work.
That's funny. Yeah. Maybe I'll just go... I should have... If I just from the jump had been putting hashtag Benny Feldman on everything, I think that would have been a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it's just like, it'll serve it to people who like Benny Feldman. You know what I mean?
You like this guy. You might like this guy.
Yeah.
The same guy.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. That could have been smart. I should have been doing that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on.
Tom, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You should put hashtag Benny Feldman on stuff. Get some more views. Peace.
Peace.